Hello and welcome. It's 7 p.m. India time or 13:30 GMT. First up, news from the work visa issue. It's not just the US that is trying to rework its immigration policy. The United Kingdom is also intensifying immigration restrictions on skilled workers. Data released by the Campaign for Science and Engineering revealed that Indian engineers, IT professionals, doctors and teachers are among the 6,000-odd skilled workers holding a UK job offer who were denied visas to the UK between December last year and March this year. Visas were denied because the number applying exceeded the monthly limit allowed to enter the UK. Critics argued that the immigration policy will hamper the government's efforts to develop a high-tech economy. British government said it was important that employers look to recruit from the UK before looking overseas and hence put this cap in place. Now, the cap under the Tier 2 visa category to allow companies to bring in professionals from outside the European Union is set at 20,700 per year, with a monthly limit of around 1,600. Until December last year, that limit had been exceeded only once in almost 6 years, but since then, that limit has been breached nearly every month. Last month, it had emerged that at least 100 Indian doctors were denied visas after being recruited due to the Tier 2 monthly quota being oversubscribed. Experts warn that access to overseas professionals remains crucial for the growth and development of the UK economy, and the government must take that into account. The recently released data records that Indians make up for the largest chunk of skilled work visas granted to nationals from outside the European Union, indicating that Indians are likely to be the hardest hit by the country's annual visa cap. Now, after the recent data was released, more than 30,000 people have signed an online petition against the British government treatment to the Indian professionals. The petition called on the UK government to stop abusing a national security clause to deny hundreds of highly skilled Indian professionals the right to live and work in the country. Joining me on the phone line from London is WION's Bureau Chief Mandy Clark. Mandy, explain to me the rationale for limiting the entry of skilled workers, especially from India, into the UK.
Well, the rationale is based on the public mood. What they noticed when it came to that really shock decision of the Brexit vote is that the public certainly had felt that immigration has been too much. That was one of the biggest factors. And so in many ways, it's a political decision and not really based on the reality on the ground. The reality is that Britain desperately needs highly skilled workers to keep the economy going. It's very clear that that is a priority. But the politics are basing it on the public mood. And they want to see that the British skilled workers are the first up for the job before they start recruiting from abroad. But what the employers are saying is simply the skill set is not there at the minute, and they desperately need these positions filled by the people who can do it. What also the British government said that even though if you're denied the visa 1 month, you can apply the next month, but it's an incredible amount of bureaucracy for someone to go just to get their job approved. So they already have the job offer. It's really just getting that visa. And it seems like a lot of red tape the UK is putting through to put up a face that they're clamping down on immigration. The side issue when it came to the Indian doctors is they have put on a level of looking at a terrorism one that normally applies to people who are involved in organized crime and looking forensically through their taxes. And it's caught quite a few doctors, 100 or so, that already are living and working in the UK. And so that's a separate but very real issue that Indian doctors already living in the UK are facing when they're trying to apply for the right to remain.
Also, Mandy, multiculturalism and integration are key issues confronting the British society and government and people alike. The UK has been welcoming of immigrants. And you correctly mentioned this is a political decision, but India says it is as much an economic decision, an issue of labor mobility, as much as it is about immigration.
It is, and it's the need to keep that mobility, and Britain really has to think long and hard because as they enter the last year with their Brexit negotiations, they won't have that pool of labor that they currently use from the EU. There'll be greater restrictions, and they'll really have to look outside their borders. So this seems to conflict with their economic ambitions. They will need these highly skilled individuals, and there's a push from the business communities much more to take these silly caps that seem the number have been plucked from the sky, as one business expert described it. It doesn't have any reality or bearing with the needs of the business on the ground.
Right. Mandy Clark in London, thank you for joining me on Your Story.